Alright. Boom G. Clown community. Big title, big thumbnail, chat. I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it.
A circus.
Oh, sorry. Really quiet. That was so quiet. Let me try again. Okay.
The public perception of LGBT has become that of a circus, an entertaining freak show to laugh at from afar. It feels like the potential of being perceived as a real human and not a clown is fleeting by the day. I'm back to feeling like I want to hide my sexuality, not because I feel ashamed of it, but instead due to the public assumption that I'm subscribed to a host of ideas that I want nothing to do with. When
chat, we've had this discussion many times. You should not have to subscribe to every single belief that your political party or anything else subscribes to. Not your family, not your wife, not your husband, not your friends, not your political party, not your subreddit that you go on every single day because you're chronically online. Nothing. Normalize having your own thoughts and opinions, and normalize not giving a frick about topics that you don't care about or don't feel super strongly about. Normalize fence sitting. Be like me, chat. I'm sitting on the fence, smiling, swinging my feet, in my lane, moisturized, not worried about shit I don't care about. I am blissful. I am zen.
gay marriage was legalized in 2015, this community saw its first wave of real acceptance. But then the they, thems, and zers showed up and extended LGBT to include half the alphabet, and it kind of messed things up for our reputation. Instead of sexuality being one small trivial aspect of our character, people started to make it their entire personality. When I was in
yeah, and it makes gay people look bad. You know who does this? This one thing about me is now my entire personality thing. Mentally ill people. Another example of people who do this are people with any kind of medical condition. I know so many people that fully identify as their sickness. To the point of mental illness. Like my friend, my close friend, she worked at a doctor's office and she used to tell me about patients that have like, I don't know, I think it was minor diabetes. Minor diabetes! And they will literally straight up like not do things like go on walks or decline to go to get-togethers because my diabetes is acting up. Guys, I can't go. I'm sorry. Oh, my diabetes. It's sad.
In high school, a girl called me a faggot and then proceeded to ask why I chose to be gay. But just
whoa!
4 years later, that same girl changed her Instagram pronouns to she, they, and put bisexual in her bio.
Bro, what? That's insane! What an L! That's a massive L! Holy shit! Yeah!
You could never convince me that girl's anything more than an empty vessel mindlessly absorbing whatever opinion is most popular at the time. Once the fact that there are only two genders becomes mainstream again, she'll delete the pronouns and put God is love in her bio instead because being a trad wife is trending. It's
corpos do this too.
Obvious to me that LGBT has become some sort of social contagion. I don't believe for a second that girl ever actually believed she was bisexual. I think some of her friends claimed to be queer and she didn't want to feel left out.
This is a high school thing. Oh my gosh, yes! This is a high school thing. I know a lot of like people, and some people are gonna get mad and say, but Alana, you can choose to be gay. And yeah, you're right, you absolutely can. But you should always be skeptical of kids, and by kids, I mean anyone under 18. They change their mind a lot. It's natural, and it's a part of growing up.
Process likely repeated itself with every new person that got added to their friend group. Either be gay like the rest of us, or at the very least conform to all of our ideologies. Failure to comply meant exclusion from the group, and as social creatures, exclusion is our biggest fear. Knowing that makes it really easy to see how groupthink develops into millions of people all believing the same lie. Somehow the alphabet soup community got wrapped up in politics, and it's never been the same since. It's impossible to escape the instantaneous judgments made about me when my sexuality is recognized. There's an immediate perception that I'm illogical, easily offended, and looking for a reason to call you a homophobe. We're no longer seeing people as individuals with unique ideas and varying opinions, but instead putting them into a box based on their assumed political beliefs. If you're a gay—
That is like a sorry, I got just in the middle of talking. That is a wombo combo of tribalism and pattern recognition. The only way you defeat this or it is by normalizing being gay. We had this talk when I think it was Google. Yeah, it was Google. They removed Pride Month from their calendar, like their official calendar for everyone. This is a good thing. You don't need a month, you don't need a day, you need to be normalized so you're not treated differently from everyone else or different than anyone else. That's the solution, and it always has been.
Vegan, you're immediately labeled as woke, which is hilariously true a lot.
We have a moderator who is vegan, and he does none of these things. He's just a vegan. He doesn't preach it. If anything, he kind of plays into like us bullying them. Yeah, Mr. Choco, one of our moderators, is a vegan. Yeah, Coco's woke. No, he's not. He's just chill. Oh my god, unsubbed. And he, by the way, we talked about this as well. We said, why are you vegan? He said, just because I like it. Yeah.
Out of the time, but can we stop pretending like every person is a carbon copy of the next one? There's unlimited variation in the human condition, and not everyone can be shoved into the same cardboard box. When you fail to see someone as a human being rather than a political idea, it's immediately dehumanizing and leaves us unable to connect. In 2019, my senior year of high school, my photo didn't get put in the yearbook because I refused to wear a woman's drape.
Holy shit, what? That's fucked. Man, that's fucked up.
Let me add context. There were two tops that the graduating class could wear. A V-neck drape with a pearl necklace for the girls, and a tux with a tie for the boys. You know damn well you're not about to catch me clutching some girly-ass pearls. So I went to the principal's office and respectfully asked for permission to wear the tux for my photos. He laughed at me and said, absolutely not. In 2019, I shrugged it off, but in 2024... that's a lawsuit. That's how much...
That's so fucked up. Yeah, what a cringe school. My school probably would have let you. I remember people goofing around a lot in my one. What's a yearbook? It's just a thing that high schoolers do when, at the end of the year, when they're leaving school or they're going into the next year, they take photos of you. They let us be goofy in my school. Yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want. I remember girls were like wearing goofy shit, but I don't know. It depends on how strict your class is. I think that's cringe. US only thing? No, it is not a US only thing. I think it's actually very widely, it's a wide thing that happens across many countries.
Things can change in just 5 years. Now that same school openly allows boys to have long hair and wear skirts, something that one of the guys I went to school with was removed from class and suspended for.
But that...
When the social pressure was applied, they folded like lawn chairs. None of them did it because they wanted to. They did it because they felt like they had to. Now they're being publicly praised for being an accepting and non-discriminatory school, but I know the truth.
Damn, dude. And that's ultimately like the biggest issue with social issues becoming the #1 topic in politics. And no, I don't think it always has been. It's always been a part of politics. But I I don't think anywhere was as bigly and as hotly debated as it is now. Not 30 years ago, not 20. I think not even 10 years ago. That's just my opinion, but like, because ultimately, what do you think happens when, through immense social pressure, you apply controversial changes to not just schools, but work or life? Do you think the people that were forced to follow, to allow something they disagree with are going to suddenly agree with that thing and everything's gonna be okay? No, they're gonna hate you and they're gonna hate that thing even more. Now, am I trying to say that we should never make changes? So that women can't vote and black people are still second-class citizens? No, of course not. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't think that ham-fisting change via blue-haired Karen screaming on Twitter like freaking crazy freaks and lunatics is the correct route either. Normalization is always the best route, and that means you equally punish discrimination against gay people and straight people. Simple.
This story has a very important message. People will conform even if it doesn't align with their personal beliefs, if it means acceptance. You might think you're successfully spreading your ideas when you see companies putting up pride flags and schools changing their rules to conform to new gender ideas, but none of it is genuine. You haven't successfully changed their beliefs about anything, you've merely given them incentive to lie. People will both literally and figuratively put on a mask in order to blend in and avoid confrontation. Millions of people have disagreed with woke culture this entire time, but you didn't know it because they made it impossible for them to voice their honest opinion without the threat of being ostracized or deplatformed.
Exactly. And in fact, to some especially deranged schizos, you not only couldn't voice your opinion at the time, you also couldn't even stay silent. Remember, silence is violence, agree with me or else. It's just not how human psychology works, man. And you know there are gonna be people that watch this video and think this is anti-LGBT hate, man.
But behind closed doors, in the privacy of the voting booths, the truth is revealed. You can't force people to believe in something they don't want to believe in, and trying to only incentivizes them to play pretend. You're surrounded by wolves in sheep's clothing, and you did it to yourself by weaponizing cancel culture. This past election should have shown you that people will nod their head in agreement and then turn their back on you the second you look away. You can't blame them for their dishonesty when you failed to give them any other choice. Nobody wants to be labeled as a homophobic racist or lose their job for being politically incorrect. If you wanted honesty, then you should have given them the opportunity to speak it without the threat of public humiliation. Wokeness ruined LGBT the day it became so focused on minorities that it forgot about the masses.
This ain't cheddar, this quiche.
This goes hard, man. Yeah! Bass clappies. Bass clappies. Bass clappies. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like there for a while that Karens and woke culture was trying to turn the entire country into Reddit. That's kind of how I felt about the whole thing. Like, how many steps back has Reddit think caused? That if you don't agree with that person, they should just be silenced, banned, and disappeared. And I don't mean like killed, I mean like actually just banned off the internet or banned off the platform. I'm sorry, I should clarify. I think a lot... Aspen was the one who said that after Elon bought Twitter that a lot of people have been going over the top, like racist and extremely aggressive because they were silenced and banned for so long, for like years. Not even months, years. That they're making up for lost time. It's like the pendulum swinging. Now that doesn't make it right, but I definitely can see where that's been happening. The pendulum always swings too far. I just want people to be able to love and who they want to love and marry whoever they want to marry and have it be normal and not weirdly glorified. Go be gagey. There's nothing wrong with it, man. It's not that deep.